Good morning, everybody. It's the Saints Man, small van courier driver on the CX. It's Sunday, the 7th November, and this is looking back on Thursday and Friday last week. Thursday was an absolute monster. By the way, I'm not at home. We're on our boat on the Broads. Come down yesterday afternoon, stay until next Friday, so I've got a week off. We're not actually going to take the boat out. We're going to use it as a hotel, floating sort of base, so we can travel around Norfolk, go to the beaches, just generally have a good time. Yeah, it's very chilly at night, but you probably hear in the background we've got the heater on permanently because we're in the marina we're in. It's toasty as you like. So Sunday morning, and it's quite early, 9 o'clock. Wife's still in bed, she's got a cold, so she's having a lay in. So I thought I'd do this. So Thursday. Well, obviously Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was piss poor. Thursday, I'd already got a job, as I said on Wednesday, picking up Wellingborough, 9 o'clock, going to Morpeth, north of Newcastle, which is a good one. I quoted quite keenly. I wanted that job. It was only one box to an engineer. I quoted 175, which it was about 65p a mile, just under that probably. Picked the box up, no problem, and off we went to Morpeth, easy drive, all motorway, M1, A1, and it was about 10 miles north of Morpeth. And to find the place, the engineer was a radio mast engineer, and it was in the middle of absolutely nowhere, and the last 400 yards was across a field which had a muddy track on it, which he'd obviously created going back into this mast with another bloke, and it was on top of a hill. It was freezing, it was horrible. The van got plastered, my van underneath it, getting to him, but all good, got it delivered. Decided straight away, I decided on the way up that I wasn't going to get anything out of Morpeth or anywhere there, it's in the middle of nowhere, that I was going to drive back to north of Newcastle. It's like Cramlington, does that ring a bell? I've stopped there before, and it sort of covers Newcastle, Sunderland, Durham, Middlesbrough, so I was hoping to get a really good job. So I'd done that by 2:30, it was all done, I was done. So now I'm looking for a job. It was poor, and there's a lot of drivers in Newcastle, a lot of drivers. But I thought, well, I'll take anything, even a short job, 40-50 quid job, and that'll get me on my target for the day, and then I'll just tramp. And I virtually decided that I wasn't going to get anything because there were so many drivers around. There was the odd job. One went down to Dagenham, which I quoted on quite keenly. Nothing, didn't get it. One going down to Stoke-on-Trent, it was to JCB, which I quoted on. Again, I didn't quite. I should have quoted a bit keener on that one probably because it weren't far from home. But I would have still tramped, and I got good money. Didn't get it, and I sort of resigned myself to staying in Newcastle, to be honest, till Friday. So I went into Morrison's, got a load of grub, ready to tramp out for the night. This was about 3:30, 3:45, and a job popped up from Durham to Gloucester. Delivery Gloucester, 6 to 8 o'clock Friday morning. So I quoted keenly on it, really keenly. I quoted online, it didn't say phone, it didn't say quote online, but I quoted online to start with. Quoted 170, which was keen, but I thought what I'm going to do, I'm virtually going 20 miles to my house, I will take it to my house, sleep in my own bed, and then get up at sort of 4:30 in the morning and take it to Gloucester. Then I phoned. I thought I'm going to phone, and I phoned up, and I thought I want this job. So I quoted 170. I was quite prepared. I'd have gone to 165. It was cheap job, so I was getting, but it got me to back into round my area. And he was a great bloke, brilliant chipper. And he went, mate, I weren't going to give it. He said, that's really cheap. I said, well, I'm doing it. I said, I explained to him I just had a rubbish job up to this radio mast, and he said, well, I used to get jobs like that. He said, I'll tell you what I'll do, you can have it. I went, oh, brilliant. He said, but I'm into it for good money. He says, I'm going to give you 190. Brilliant. you know, that made me up to my pence per mile. So I was well pleased. I told him, I said I'll deliver it at 7. It was between 6 and 8 in the morning, and I said if I deliver it at 7, and he went absolutely fine. Shippers, you don't get many shippers like that. You do it in the northeast. Don't know why. Northeast always good. So that created a really, really good Thursday. I got 175 going up, and I got 190 going back. I was going to finish the job Friday morning at 7 o'clock, so I count that as Thursday's work. So that day made up for all the other 3 crap days. I had 365. I weren't too late getting home. I was home by 7:45 at night. It was one pallet. It was a small pallet, 80 kilos, and I was home 7:45 eating the Chinese at 8 o'clock. Top. Friday. So that was that day. I mean, that day, and I included the mileage that from my house to Gloucester to the company. I put it on Google. I included that mileage in that day, even though it was good, I was going to do it the next morning. So that mileage, if I'd have done that, was 655. In fact, it was only 545. It was 110 miles next day. So 655. It was a 14 hour, including the 2 hours next day, 14 hours. Just under 14 hours. 365 the money. Which, yeah, it's only 59 pence a mile, but it's a lot of money for a day's work. 365 quid for a small van is immense. You don't get that very often. But I'd had 3 pretty rubbish days, so it made up for it. Anyway, Friday morning, up at the crack of 4:30, which is very early. I used to do earlies anyway on the trucks years ago. And it was, yeah, it's good. I was on the road at 5, and I was at the company in Gloucester 7 o'clock, and delivered. And funny enough, it's a good job I didn't get there at 6, because they don't actually open till 7. I was the first van in, unloaded in 2 minutes, and there was a service station right down the road, literally down the road, just off the M5. So went to the services, parked up, and a McDonald's breakfast burger. Oh Jesus, it's bloody horrible. How small can they make a burger? They put the eggs in the rings, so but that's all that was open. There was that or a BP garage, so we're sorted. So Friday morning, that's it. That's Thursday's job finished, and I'm sitting there at 7:30. Had this crappy McDonald's thing, and I'm waiting for work. And there weren't much in Gloucester, and I was the only van in Gloucester. There was vans in a couple in Cheltenham, but got that done. Waited for jobs, nothing popped up, and it got to near 9 o'clock, and then it livens up. 8:45, 9 o'clock, 8:45. I quoted on a couple of jobs. Went out to Tewkesbury to Birmingham, didn't get it, but there was vans further closer to me. And then there was a job Bristol to Oxford, which I quoted on and got. It was Severn Beach, which is outside of Bristol, so you don't have to go into the city. And I quoted, what did I quote on that? Let's have a look. I quoted 74 on that, which was nearly 70 pence a mile all in, and got it. And it was a pallet from a roofing company, from one company to its sister company, transfer of stock, and it was roofing tiles. A lot heavy pallet. Yeah, it said a pallet, it didn't say how heavy it was. It was about 340 kilos, but my little van just takes it the weight really well. It was only 60 tiles, but they were massive tiles and they were really heavy. Anyway, I made sure I strapped them down quite well. I didn't want them bouncing and smashing. And I got to Oxford. I just took a steady drive. I just put the cruise control on at 65 and just steady drive up the M4. And I cut a bit of the mileage down actually. I went across the 420, whereas he put it along to the A34 and up. So it did cut out about 10 miles and got to the roofing firm in Oxford. Easy job. Unloaded it. They were expecting it. And parked it. Oxford's normally okay, but now I'm in holiday mode. I'm looking for a small job that'll get me home, and that'll be doing me for the day. I thought I'll have to get a small job. I did get a small job, but it was Whitney to Oxford. It was 12 miles. It was 10 miles to Whitney, where I was. 6 miles back. It was 20 miles. I quoted 30 quid on it and got it. It was picking an ultrasound machine up from a health centre in Whitney to go to a health centre. They have to share it. They have to share an ultrasound kit. That was that done, and that got me over £100. Anyway, I parked up at Kidlington, got some fuel. Oh, went to clean it. I thought I need to clean this van from the crap at Morpeth from the day before. It was still all on my bull bar, my running board. It was under the wheel arches. There was mud clinging everywhere. And then I picked a job up. Well, I didn't. Yeah, I did pick a job up. I was parked at the A43 services, BP services on the A43, just short of between Bicester and Oxford. And the job come up from Milton Keynes. Well, it was out this side of Milton Keynes to Brixworth, Northampton, which would have got me home nicely. By then it was about 3:20, and the bloke says, how quick can you be there? I says, I can be there just after 4. It's about 35 minutes. I was honest. I said, probably 4 o'clock if I get the job now. And he went, right. He says, give me 2 minutes, I'm going to ring back. I went, he says, but keep quoting on other jobs if you want. He said, but I'll ring back. Anyway, 5 minutes later, the phone went. I was still sat at services, I weren't moving. And he went, yeah, go for it, mate. He says, it's 40, he says, go for it. He says that they think they're going to be fine. So, packed my stuff away quickly, put the code in. Hadn't actually left the services. I was just about to get out onto the A34, and the phone went again, and it was the shipper saying they've just cancelled. He said they've just decided they're not bothering. They've phoned the customer it's being delivered to, who said he's not going to be there after 4:30, and it was going to take longer than half an hour to get there. And they said they're quite happy to have it on Monday. So that I could have pushed for cancellation fee, but I hadn't actually left the services. He was really, he was apologetic. And I went, nah, don't worry about it. I says, it happens. I says, but don't worry about it. I then decided I was going to drive home. But I thought, I know there's a really good car wash, hand wash, where you do it yourself. It's an SO1 on the A34 as you get off the M40 towards North. It's before Brackley. And I went in there and I spent 45 minutes cleaning the van, giving it a right good clean, and spotless it was. And then drove home. So that was Friday. £104 all in, but I only did 170 miles, something like that, 175. It worked out. Yeah, it was pretty poor, but I only worked for 7 hours that day, really, because to get into Gloucester was on the job from Thursday, so that mileage didn't count. We accounted for that. So that was it, week done, and that's pretty much what happened. I did 1,509 miles in total, and I got 851. I didn't get near my target of £1,000. That's my top target. If I hit £1,000, I've done well. But I averaged £170 a day, 30 quid a day less. Not brilliant, but the mileage was less. I did less miles. I didn't do so many long hours. I only did 44 hours, which is it's a week's work. Normal people, but that's all my hours, including starting to house to the end of the house. So take your breaks off and that. Yeah, it's alright. I can take that. It was one big day. Got me that 365 quid, although it ran over to Friday. But I had like 4 pretty poor days. 159 quid on Monday, 132 quid Tuesday, 91 quid on Wednesday. But all them days, as I said in the previous video, I had to get home to do things. So it sort of, made it harder to earn money because I couldn't do any long jobs. I'd got to stay close. And then Thursday, obviously, I could go everywhere I wanted to, and got a really good day, which probably would have happened early in the week if I'd stayed out. And then Friday, I'm in holiday mode. I'm ready to go on my holidays, which we went Saturday morning. Well, got ready, went Saturday lunchtime. So all good. I've got a week off now. I sorted my insurance out on my van. I've kept with the same people. It's gone dramatically down, because my first year I swapped vans and got penalised. But I've got all my insurance sorted. I probably could have got it cheaper somewhere else, but the company I use, really nice people. They do it all for me. I don't really have to do a lot. I chatted to them on Thursday, and I chatted to them again Friday. They sent all the stuff Friday and the quote, and it's just over 200 quid a month all in. That's all insurances. goods in transit, public liability, and hire and reward for the van. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I'll take that. It's 200 and something. It's about 2,400, but it, some people say, oh, you can get it for 1,200. Yeah, but there's a lot of. This is for unlimited. I can do it whatever I want, pretty much. And where the area I live and where the van is, I think that's good enough. It's a lot cheaper than last year because I swapped vans and I got penalised because I got a new van, so it's cheaper. So I'm happy with that. Obviously I didn't tramp. I was going to do a little video on tramping, but I didn't tramp Thursday. I almost tramped, but then got the job back. So no tramping involved. So I've got a week off now, so won't be doing a video now. So we're on the boat. Can't really see it like that here, we're in Almarina. That's one window. That's probably the best window out there. Yeah, that's where we are. So we're gonna have a week, but I say we took the boat out 3 times this year, so we're just using it, and we're gonna have some days out. We've got the 7-seater with a dog. And we're gonna go a bit like beaches. So have a good week next week, and it'll be a better week on Wednesday when I'm back to work. Week on Monday. It'll be a week on Wednesday probably when you get next video. So hope you're making money. All good. Cheers, guys.